Do you know something? This is epic. This is the most important part of this podcast. They say that be mindful of the five people that are closest to you because you'll take their mindset. The four people closest to me is my grandchildren. They are my ultimate self-care. Ultimate self-care. Honestly, they are. So I've got 8-year-old, twin 7-year-old boys. So 8-year-old boy, twin 7-year-old boy. And then I've got my namesake, little Amaya Nichole, who is just turned 4. So they are my yeah. That is my ultimate. Honestly, I can't lie. It's my people. They're my people. So we dance, we sing, we play all the games, we do cooking with grandma. We pretend that we've got like a YouTube channel, and then we do it all. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. We pretend, and it's like my eldest grandson. He's like, remember to subscribe, share, and like. And then he's like, and grandma's cooking in Jamaican curry. It's important that you get this one that's made in Kingston. And then my little granddaughter, I did a session with them, like a 10 session. And I was like, baby, tell the audience, 10 audience, that grandma put in black pepper and salt. She went, no, I'm not telling them nothing. I was like, babe, it's cooking with grandma. They need, she said, it's a secret. I said, is it a secret ingredient? She said, yes. I said, okay, fine. I said, because I was doing lamb. And I said, okay, so let them know that we're putting a bit of some rosemary. I'm not telling them nothing. I was like, babe, we've got to tell them something. We're on camera. Pretend camera. She wasn't having none of it. She was like, I'm not telling them nothing. It's like, all right, darling. But yeah, no, my wind down is Disney Channel or DreamWorks. Yeah, and we dance and we sing and yeah, it's my grandbabies. So if I've gone for a really, really, really stressful week, or it's just that when life is lifing, I would say to my boys, can I have my grandkids please? Bring them around weekends. We're camping out, we're doing all the good stuff. Yeah, yeah, we do. That is my ultimate. I'm not, yeah, that's my ultimate. In my front room, babe. Don't do that. Although I don't know why I'm saying that, because I'm going to Cyprus next week. I'm going camping. Listen, when I rock up to this camping site, I can imagine everyone on there is going to be bursting out laughing because everyone's bringing rucksacks, and I'm like, who can fit my? No, I paid for it. I'm going BA, and I've got an extra bag because I need stuff. But I've also got Airbnb. Listen, let me tell you, I'm looking for Airbnbs and hotels close by just in case. Because I don't know how camping's going to work out for Nicole. I'm not really that girl. Okay. So back to pricing, we were just saying is that when it comes to coaching, when I'm coaching private people, that can start from 200, 250 upwards. However, I've kind of done what counselors do. What's your salary and what can you afford? Um, Also, because I'm so spiritual, crystals and all, I do believe that there has to be an exchange of energy. So when you're thinking about your prices, remember you have to do something and you've got to be compensated for that. And even in the ancestral world and the spiritual world, it has to be an exchange. So if I'm giving you something, something should come in return, whether that be, I don't know, a free coaching lesson or a voucher, whatever it is, there has to be an exchange. But from people don't take the piss because then you're going to have people thinking, oh yeah, let's just go to them because we could tell them that we're just earning this. Don't do that. I believe in karma. My karma's real. I believe in good karma. I believe in karma. So be careful what we're doing. But no, in terms of prices though, if somebody's coming to me privately and it's not being paid for by a grant or something else, I think people should have access to me. I know I'm good at what I do, and some people might say, "Oh, that's being egotistical." I don't really care. If that's what you think, that's what you think. You're entitled to your opinion. But when you're good at what you do, if you don't believe it, then how the hell is anyone else meant to? But yeah, I do believe that people should have access to me. And I've had people who are going through issues at work and they want to pay for me. And I generally can see that this coaching will help them. Me being in their lives for that period of time is going to help them to shift to where they need to be. So I would negotiate something that they can afford. Why not? I've been there. I know what it's like. I mean, well, darling, they do have my DNA. Oh, my sons are so handsome. They're good looking. Oh, yeah, so I'm like, don't you us? I would say to them, gosh, you smell nice. Is that Sauvage? They're like, Mummy, is that the only cologne you know? It's not, but it just smells like Sauvage. And I've said it wrong, I know. No, my boys are beautiful. Oh, Dawn, they're beautiful. And their children are just little DNA pockets of them. But so one of them, he's in IT and has been in IT since he was 18. And he's just literally started his own business actually, dealing with IT. He's gonna kill me because he said it to me, the IT transformation, digital transformation is what he does. And he helps businesses and small businesses make that transformation and move through. And he's brilliant at it, but he's now finally launched, which I'm so proud of him. And then my other son, he is a gas engineer. And he also does Tesco's deliveries, I think part-time, something that he started to do add on to his job role. Um, in the pandemic, and he just wanted to be a part of the frontline crew. He wanted to do something because so many people wasn't getting their food and stuff like that. So yeah, so he's lovely. So no, they're good. They're good men. They're good men. They tell me off now. Imagine I went shop with my eldest one yesterday. So I'm really anal about kids running on the road because as a driver, if I see kids near the pavement, it freaks me out. So I always say, over to the wall, over to the wall. So that's how I raise my children. Imagine I've gone out with my eldest son for our daily walk. He's like, Mummy, can you go over to the wall, please? Get in the inside. And I'm like, I was like, oh, that's different, But yeah, so no, they're good boys. They're good boys. They actually didn't. And living also in Croydon, I don't know if we had this conversation off camera or not, but when my eldest was starting secondary, that was around the time where we did talk about this earlier. And it was around the time where Croydon was starting to get that reputation of having these gangs and those calls. They didn't. I remember when my son was about 12, he came home and he went, Mummy, these gang members are trying to recruit me, but I'm not Muslim and they're a Muslim gang. And they're called them because I don't understand. I'm so confused. And I was like, don't worry, babe, because he went to a Catholic school. Um, but no, they didn't. I was really, really, I mean, I say this lightly, but I'm probably not joking. I made sure that the only other force on this planet that you should be scared of is Jesus, is God, yeah? Don't play with me. But I had those rules. Do not bring the police to my door. Do not. I was lucky. A lot of people say that. I don't know if I was lucky or just the way that I raised them. I'm not going to take all the credit simply because when I've been faced with decisions, you know what your parents or your grandparents would say, and you still go ahead and do it. So, yes, I think I instilled what they needed because we do have a strong sense of family, but they still had to make the choice to say yes or no. And they have been, I mean, my kids have had friends who's been murdered, which I've never had that. I just when it happened to my first son, I was so shook. I was shook that he even knew someone. That was my first default shameful stereotypical. Like, how do you know someone like that? Then no. Then I went back to how does a 15-year-old get shot point blank in the head? How does this happen? So for me, seeing my children grieve friends, not lots of friends. I mean, it happens to both of mine, one of their closest friends. But they would know people that's just had a less fortunate path, let's say that. And I have had to say, God, thank you. Honestly, like thank you that my boys just haven't been involved to my knowledge, and they haven't brought anything to my door. And they've, my youngest one, one of my proudest days was seeing him graduate from uni. I didn't even want to go to my own graduation for my masters or my degrees, but no, do you know what it was? I did my first degree in catering. So as a part of my placement, yeah, I did hospitality. So as a part of my placement, I was a manager of the Barbican. And then I do have a peer group, to be fair, who are doing extremely well in the work that they do, and they are Black business owners. Um, but I feel like I'm in a bubble, Dawn. I genuinely do. I feel like I'm in a bubble. I mean, I want to help Black businesses. If I've got someone who is a Black business owner and I want to do business with you, then I definitely will. But where I am at the minute, because of the work that I do, I don't tend to interact much with Black business owners. I don't. And I'm sure they must exist, but like it's almost like where? And you might have people screaming at the camera saying, you're not looking or what have you. Is it the circles that I'm in? Is it because I'm more corporate? I don't know, but no, probably not. Because you've got so many Black businesses that do have corporate clients. So, and I'm a Black business owner and I'm in the corporate world. So we do exist. Where are we? Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you because I think about, so my accountant is black, and that was a must for me. That was an absolute, absolute must, I have to say. Um, I just wanted a good accountant. I'm not. I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to go for someone because of the color of their skin. Just because you're black, it doesn't mean you're going to get my money, and vice versa. You've got to be good at what you do, very good at what you do. So my first accountant, no, he robbed me straight up. He was no, he was rude, and he cost me a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, he did. And I was really annoyed at that because I just feel like he knew that people were coming to him because we wanted a black accountant. And then the second time around, when I was looking for myself, I just said, I don't care. I just want the good accountant because you try to give to the community. You know, we want this, we want the black economics. We want this economy, don't we? Of course we do. We're not saying, again, it's similar to when Black Lives Matter was going on and everyone was like, oh, all lives matter. No one didn't say all lives don't matter. We're talking about black lives. No one's not saying that other people can't make money. Of course you can. You know, I'm at a restaurant now, it's Lebanese. I love this restaurant. This is my place. This is my jam. I don't mind spending, right? But I'm not just going to spend with you just because you know my granny or used to go to school with my husband. That's not enough for me. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you're really going to get me started on that? Yes. Listen, let me tell you something here. That is, you just reminded me. I tell people this all the time. I remember going into the shop and asking for a particular hair product. It was gel. Because I've got natural hair, I wanted a gel that was going to slick my hair back because I don't want to keep putting heat in my hair. So I don't want to have to blow dry it, straighten it, and then slick it back. I just wanted to. This man says, this is the one that I use. Rewind and come again. I beg your pardon. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Asian man. He was like, this is what I use. I said, what you use? And I said, and where on this planet do you think that me and you have to say, I've got afro hair, yeah? My hair praises the sky up, yeah? Yours isn't. And he's there laughing. I said, you're not funny. I said, at least get to know our product. So at least if I ask, because that's the thing, if you know, then I've got less of a problem. But when I'm going in the shop and we can't understand each other and you're not knowing the products that I need, because they said they don't need to. That's what one of the guys said to me one day. I don't need to know the products because you guys know what you want. Um, so yeah, but I think like I left a comment on LinkedIn probably last month or so. And I used to go to this lady, she was Congolese and she was in Croydon and she was black owned and did the hair stuff. And especially when you're going for the natural hair journey, you do need some guidance, whether you're locked in or just growing out the relaxer or whatever. You need the guidance because your hair is just changing. And like most of us, we have different textures and one head. Yeah. So right. So when I'm even doing my grandchildren's hair, I'm twisting the boys' hair at the moment. And the twins, even though they're twins, one of them's got more um softer curls at the back. And I'm not going to say good hair and bad hair because all of that should pisses me off as well. One of them's got more looser curls and one's got tighter curls. So I have to use two different products when I'm twisting. Otherwise, it won't hold at the back, etc., etc. And she used to know all of that stuff. And being from Congo as well, she could tell you about the braiding, tell you about all even stuff that I didn't know she was able to teach. But what she said to me is that whenever she was going to the warehouse, they would hike up the prices, or they wouldn't serve her, or what she needed wasn't in. She just basically was having a blatant fight, a blatant fight. I also know this of a guy that had a butcher's, which was black owned. Whenever he went to get his meat and stuff, again, they were giving him the lesser part of the meat, reporting him. There was just an obvious fight against her, and she held out. She was in West Croydon, and she held out for many years. And then I remember, fortunately, I went there like maybe a few days before she was actually closing. So she can't do it. She said she's just not getting the support. And then she even put some of her prices down to try and get black support. Just wasn't happening. It just was like so something like that. I would go to her because she's got my hair grease, she's got my olive oil, she's got my bubbles, she's got my do-rag, she's got my hard brush. Do you know what I mean? She's got all of those things. With the other place now, who had one of the butchers, me and my friend, she used to always say, why don't you buy from him? You know, he's black owned, blah, blah, blah. My reason for not buying from him was because I say he, they used to season the meat. Don't season my meat. That's not our culture. It's not our culture. I'm particularly say I like pimento or ginger or whatever else you're putting in there. I'm a girl that likes at least two Scotch bonnet rocking in my oxtail, right? I like my pepper. You're gonna come with some no. So I didn't like that. And plus the oxtail was too big. I like mine cut in a certain way. Do you know? So the reason why I didn't go to him is not because he wasn't black. It's just that what he was offering, I didn't want to spend my money there. I can give you the tools to stand on stage, but if you don't have the confidence to do it, it makes no sense. So we can all have these black businesses and have these fantastic products, but if we don't trust each other, it makes no sense. And I personally feel there's a lack of trust. I really do. And I have these conversations quite often, or have done over the years, where we're talking about when we used to throw a partner, like my grandmother, that's how she got to buy her house. You know, that's how my mother-in-law got her house. They trusted. I mean, a couple of them used to run up with the money, don't get it twisted. But, you know, there's some stories out there, man. There's some big, big stories. But back then, the communities were so small, you didn't really have nowhere to run. Because, you know, but they had that one man who was the banker, and you would get your money, and people would, you know, sacrifice their money, sacrifice their hand, or whatever. I, I don't know what it is, Dawn. I put it a massive lack of trust. We know, right, systemically, institutionally, we know that we are put on the back burner when it comes to loans. We know this when it comes to even, you know, even talking to the guy in the Hilton just now, right? He's going to see two black women sitting there. What are they going to think? I know people who are in the music industry that couldn't get venues if they were going to play dancehall. You know, reggae is my thing, dancehall's my thing. If you're going to play, I don't know, country, you're quicker to get it. You know, I've called venues even recently. As soon as they see me, the prices have gone up. So we know that there's a fight with the stuff that we're doing. However, we can defeat it because we have to come together. When you think about the amount of money we make globally, if we just churn that back into here, and that's when I left that comment because it's like black hair beauty is £1 billion industry. And I think that the post on LinkedIn must have said 1% comes back into our communities. What the actual hell? But then also we've got to look at the people who are in charge of selling out the products. Because like in the Caribbean, and I don't know if Jamaica's changed this, but they used to allow the big hoteliers to come there and not pay tax for 15 years. Now, what the actual hell is that? And also allow people to get their produce from their country, whether it be in Spain or wherever, and bring it into. No, there should be a contract that says you have to use the people around you and you have to buy locally. I think that may be changing or changed, but it wasn't before. So it's those kind of radical things because we have this don't want to upset the apple cart. You know, when I look at how we behave with stuff, we're reactive. We're reacting to something that's being done to us. We need to be proactive. We need to be proactive. Racism is reactive. It's someone that is they're doing stuff to us. So we have to react to it because we've had enough. We've got to stop waiting for the enough to happen and just proact. Just do. But how do we do that? Because after George Floyd, as you probably will remember, there was lots of companies that were black companies that was, you know, starting their own businesses because we're such a talented group of people. Anything we touch can turn to gold. We're so talented. I mean, you talk to somebody can sew and sing and cook and do numbers and we're so talented. Is it a matter of us not believing in ourselves, going back to confidence? It's a matter of thinking it's too hard, they're never going to let us through. There's this image that I always see from time to time. And if you can imagine, I'll try and be as descriptive as I can. You've got a man with a pickaxe, so clearly he's underground, and he's trying to get to like where all the gold is and what have you. And he's been doing it for a while. And if you can imagine, there's this much to go. So he's here, and the gold is here, and there's this much to go, and then he gives up here because he didn't realize that it was here. Now we can't see through the wall. Let's keep going. My advice around anything, and especially in business, consistency, discipline. Consistency, discipline. I can't stand social media, honestly. There's times I get on it and I do my thing and I share my content. Do not think that you're not being seen. Do not think you are not being seen. My biggest paying client to date saw me speak at an event in 2019, wrote my name down, put the post-it on her computer, and contacted me in 2021. She knew that she wanted me to be her consultant. I never knew that. I have people that have said to me when I had a double bereavement last year, I had people shouting out to me at the end of the year saying, Nichole, thank you for your post. And I'm thinking, thank you for your post. You've never even liked one of my posts. Don't chase the likes. Don't chase the comments. Keep speaking, keep doing, keep showing up. Because I'm telling you, people are lurking. Before you're booked or even approached, people are going to look at your profile at least 5 times. If you're not posted, they don't know what you're thinking. Keep keep it active. Even if you repost something else, put some powerful shit on it. Just keep active. And then you like other people's stuff that you know. It takes a split second to, even if you don't even read all of it properly, from you know that person is out here hustling and trying, why are we not promoting them? This crab in a bag mentality has to stop, you know? And this crab in a bag thing is about it for those who don't know it. If you ever, and I have seen them, crabs in a bag, they literally climb and step on each other to get to the top, to get out the bag. The mentality when we use this metaphor is that we will step on our own just to get to the top and we pull up the ladder straight behind us. Why? I'm a coach. I'm a master coach. How many other master coaches are out there? And if you remember what I said beforehand, if you're everybody's cup of tea, you're a mug. Find your tribe. And the thing about tribes as well, this is the saying, um, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I used to use it all the time. And I was doing this moon thing, you know, me and my moon stuff, right? So I was doing this moon stuff for a week. And on the Thursday, it said something, be mindful who you're attracting into your life because our energy and our words are powerful, right? And it just made me think, oh my God, I've been saying your vibe attracts your tribe. What I should say is make sure you're giving off the right vibe to attract the right tribe. Because if you are masking, if you are pretending to be something you're not, then that's the tribe you're going to get. So if you've realized that, oh, I've always got fake people around me, do the inner work and be self-radical. Are you fake? What tribe? What are you giving up? Why are you attracting those people? This is going to sound so bougie, but I'm just going to say it how it is. I'm not easy to coach now. I'm I'm good at what I do, right? So I'm here like, but yes, I do have a coach. So I had a business coach as well, and I think that was more about. It doesn't matter. You can be the most confident person in the world, Dawn. You're gonna have those days where you just can't turn up. You can't turn up, and you feel so you're doing too much, and you feel like, oh my God, what's people gonna think? And you know, think about it. If everything that's around us, if all of those inventors thought like that, we'd have nothing. So yeah, I had a coach, and really it was around. I think because I was going through my spiritual journey as well, and I was trying to find what I wanted to do, and I think I've always been called to talk about the dominatrix side of me, women stepping into their sensuality and their sexuality. That has always been calling me, but I guess I was walking in a level of shame with that as well, where I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. So that coach really made me define channel your inner mistress and really get women to bring that fire. And no, it's not just about sex, but it's laced in sex. It's almost like you can't talk about diversity and inclusion if you're going to exclude any demographic. You know, you can't talk about D&I if you're going to exclude race. You can't talk about justice for some and not for all. I don't believe in that anyway. So you can't talk about empowerment, confidence if you're not going to talk about sex. I'm sorry. It's a part of us. It's just our identity. It's just like our clothes. I put this on this morning, but what has topped it for me is that I have to have my crystals in a certain order. They're in order for a reason. I've got my earrings, I've got my necklaces, I've got my rings. You know, it's a part of who I am and my identity and how I want to show up. So that's what that coach did for me, made me realize it's like that saying that says she remembered who she was and the game changed. That's what happened to me. I remembered who I am and my game has changed. So I've got a coach for that. And then because I'm dyslexic and ADHD, I've got an ADHD and dyslexic coach. And that's really to sort out my time management, which I think is huge for any business owner. We've definitely, it's all about time and where are we putting that time? I think that's been my biggest struggle. And because I get distracted very easily, at the moment, my websites, but I've got two, because I've got the Channel You're in a Mistress one. So for all of you that's thinking, oh, channel, yeah, come on that one. And literally my name, if you put my name into Google, it sounds so like darling, but it's true. If you put my name in Google, you'll find my website. But LinkedIn, I'm pretty good at, to be honest with you. If you send me a message there or connect with me there, and as I say, through my website. But if to get to me quickly, I would probably say LinkedIn or my Channel You're in a Mistress on Instagram. But I can give you the details and stuff because I don't mind receiving emails. My PA will pick that up. And I think that's what people have to remember, that it's okay to be different. It's okay. And what's normal anyway? What is normal? But one thing I want to leave you with is that my nan spent her whole life, and I met people say this, don't know whether that be church people, neighbors, look what the neighbors are going to think. And when I think about it, all the people that she was worried about what they're going to think, she didn't like them. She didn't even, they didn't matter, going back to that quote beforehand. You honestly, you have to turn up for you. You have to, you've got a business idea, you want to work with certain people, work with the people that you want to work with. Find your authentic tribe. Because if you're giving off bad vibes, you're going to attract it. If you're giving off fake vibes, you're going to attract it. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to impress you. I always say this when I talk about Channel and a Mistress. I love the woman I was. I adore the woman I am. And I am excited to meet the woman that I'm becoming. I really, really am. And I want you to be excited with who you are and who you're becoming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for inviting me. Oh, darling, it's a privilege to be asked.